Hi guys, come along with me today as we make this cherry ring pop. All right, you guys, here's our supplies. Milo temper paints. We have a paper towel, cup, and brushes, a paint plate, a white crayon for our tracing. We have a few different sizes of markers, a pair of scissors. We have our Shuttle Art acrylic paints, our Just Art paint pens, our Work Pro glue gun with some glue sticks, and then we need a piece of our brown paper, which is what we're gonna do our art on today. All right, you guys, here we go. All right, you guys, today we're gonna make ring pops. Ring pops are so fun, no matter how little or how old you are eating them, they're so much fun. In the studio for the last few weeks, you can see behind me, we've been making giant candy replicas, chip replicas, and they're so much fun. And so today I wanted to make a ring pop with you guys. I figured it would be so much fun for you guys to watch me put one of these together, so I hope you enjoy. First, what I'm gonna do is start sketching out the outline of the bag. And this is not a perfect rectangular, it's kind of crinkly because of the shape of the ring pop. So I'm gonna try to achieve that in my drawing. So I'm gonna go through my paper with this white crayon, and I'm just gonna kind of make the shape of the paper. But I'm not gonna do straight lines because I wanna use some movement in my package. Let's see here. All right, so once I get my basic shape, what I'm gonna do is start drawing in my ring pop. Okay, let's do the outline of the ring. Just want to get my basic shapes down. All right. I don't want to worry about too much of the little details and designs because we can achieve that with our Just Art paint pens. I just want to get the basic larger pieces and then I'll add the little details once the paint dries. So now let's add our lettering. I'm just trying to eye it the best that I can. Remember, we don't have to worry about anything being overly perfect. We're just having fun, creating something fun in this art piece. All right, so once I get the basic shape of those, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Just Art acrylic pen and I just wanna go over my drawing because I wanna be able to see these lines once I start adding my paint on, and this will just kind of help me see what I've drawn and what's on my package. I'm just gonna add those lines in. Down here we have like a little white box that has the calories. So I just want to kind of add that in there because I'll paint that white. And let's see, let me add my wording back in. And you can already see I'm kind of making some adjustments as I go with the marker. I'll make this P a little bit bigger. All right. Might need to extend this over a little bit. Actually, maybe even a little bit higher. All right, you guys, here we go. So the reason why I like to do a mix of the tempera paints with the acrylic paints is just because the tempera paints on the paper just turn out really bright and vibrant, and I love the feel of that. But I also want to add some hints of color with the acrylics too, to just give it like a really fun definition. So here we go. We're going to paint this outside red. And remember, when you do these kind of things, you want to spread your paint out as much as possible so that it dries in a good amount of time. And it really dries fast on this paper if you really spread your paint out. So I'm just going to go back and forth, dipping between the tempera paint and the acrylic paint. I always like to have several different shades of color on my piece of art. Cannot wait to see how this turns out. Mr. Dustin will have to put some fun music behind us as we're painting this. As I go toward the middle, I'm going to introduce some of this pink tempera paint. I know around the lettering we have some white details, so I'll add that in after I paint all around all the letters. All right, you guys, see how I've just kind of traveled around the whole paper. I didn't really wash my brush in between. When you're kind of staying within a similar color family and you want to get depths of color, you don't really have to clean your brush in between. You can just kind of just go back and forth between the colors. And just get like really some good definition there. All right. So I'm going to switch colors here, and then I'm going to do the bottom part of my ring pop. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just go ahead and paint my ring pop here. Just going to go back to this purplish pink. And dip back into my red. This is going to be so cool as it comes together. It does have some little hints of white in there, so I'm going to dip a little bit in my white. All right. There's my ring pop. I'll let that brush sit there, and then I'm going to do the bottom part of my ring pop. Go into this blue tempera paint here. And I'm going to dip a little bit into the acrylic. And kind of do the same thing where I'm just going to go back and forth between the two. I love this little turquoisey color to help add little shadows. It kind of has a little bit of a white shadow around here. I'm gonna clean my brush, and I'll go back and add some of that brighter blue. Okay. I'll take some of my white and color in this little section here that we'll put the calories in. And then around the ring pop, we have some little blips of yellow. So we're going to do that with the tempera paint. We'll let that dry a little bit and I'll go back over that yellow. Let's see, the writing here is in red. So we're gonna go over the letters with the red paint. Is this making you want a ring pop? It kind of makes me want a ring pop. Ring pops are pretty popular in the studio with the kids. They all get to have snacks and drinks while they're here. So sometimes it's a bag of chips and sometimes it's a ring pop. Okay, almost done. I have my G kind of overlapping this P, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna trust the process. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit and then we'll start adding little details with the paint markers. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna start adding my little details in and tracing. I have a few areas that are still wet, but I'm just gonna work on this side of the piece of art. All right, so here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna start outlining my lettering. I'm gonna add some thicker lines to the side of it. Okay, so while this side is still drying, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna add the little white highlights to the wording. If you hit a wet spot, just you can use your extra paper to the side to clean your marker off. Aren't these markers just amazing? I have ordered so many sets of them. Just art. Great job, you guys, on your markers. I literally am so afraid to run out of them at the studio that I order them before I know I ever will need them, just to have them on standby. Okay. And there also is some white outlining on the outside of the wording too. So we can go ahead and add that in. Remember to have fun with it. You can put your own little spin on how you see your candy that you're doing. All right. Also gonna add some little pink highlights here and there. You know what, we get a brighter. Skipping around those places that are still wet. And then I want to get my red. I'm just gonna go in and out of these letters here. Also gonna go inside my ring pop here. Add some little highlights inside of there. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my black marker. I'll go over this with white too. Here, I'll do this real quick. I'm gonna go inside that word. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around the outside of my ring pop package. I'm gonna outline this area. The calories are going to be, and down here near that it says ages for plus, Near the ring pop, we have the trademark. And then down here, we have the weight. 0.5, 14 grams. Let's see if there's anything else in here. I have the big 60 calories per serving. I'm also gonna sign it down here. And then I'm just gonna start outlining my ring pop so it can really just show up in a cool way. Because this is a piece of art. So we do want it to show up as that. All right. Through here, I'm gonna just go through and make this yellow a little bit more vibrant. Have a little bit deeper yellow in there too. Just add a few extra little shadows in to our ring pop. All right, you guys, gonna turn this glue gun on because now it's gonna be time to put this thing together. Let's see. Clear our spot off. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna cut this out. And what I like to do is I'm not gonna go right near the line. I'm just gonna cut a little bit at a time. And as I cut, let's see, we'll do this whole side. As I cut, then we're gonna glue. And we're gonna save the scraps because we're gonna use these to fill the inside of our ring pop. So let's see. So we're gonna glue a little bit, and then we're gonna close this up. We wanna leave one side open because we're gonna use that side to stuff our ring pop. Let me reload my gun. Let's see here. So we have this side enclosed, so now we're gonna work our way around this other side. And be careful if you're gonna use a glue gun. Make sure if you're a kid watching this that you have an adult with you because it is no fun to be burned by a glue gun. Safety first, always. This looks so cool. If you want to secure your edges a little extra, you can always use a stapler, and I may do that in just a second and just add just a little extra security to hold it together. The paper I'm using is from a hardware store, so it's painter's paper. So it's a lot more heavy weighted than the paper I normally use in the studio. I've loved it. We've used it for all of our art projects lately when we've been making these giant candy wrappers. It works awesome. I love it. So you don't have to worry so much when you're going to stuff your project that the paper is going to tear. Okay, let me trim this bottom, and then I'll grab our stuffing, and then we'll get going with finishing up this ring pop package. Okay, let me grab our stapler and some stuffing, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I grabbed some sheets of my brown paper, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of crunch them up a little bit. And I want to make one part of this a little bit more round because it can mimic the ring pop inside. I'm going to start opening my paper. I'll take all of my scraps here. You can just throw those inside. And we're going to start stuffing our ring pop. It's a little noisy, but it's fun. I may even staple a little part of this to keep it together and keep it a little bit more rounded to mimic our ring pop inside. Let me grab another piece. And then we're going to work on closing this up. All right, so I'm gonna start close to the edges, and then I'll work my way toward the middle. Let's see here. Okay, let me reload my gun. I've got my stapler too, so I'm just gonna here and there just put a staple. You have to check them every once in a while to make sure they go all the way through. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna glue some of this paper down in the middle. Kind of hold it in place where I want it to be. Go on. Sometimes you gotta wrangle this stuff. I'm wrangling here a little bit. We're almost done, you guys. All right. Here comes the middle. We can also make adjustments after we get it all together. Add a little staple here. There you go. Glue the last little places, and then we will be ready to finish this guy. I got glue on my finger. You'd think I'd be pretty tough when it comes to getting glue on my fingers because it happens so much. But you know, this Work Pro glue gun gets pretty hot. Okay. So I've got my packaging together. What I'm gonna do to get the shape that I want is try to just puff it out in the middle so it kind of looks like there's a ring pop inside of it. How cool is that? I've honestly been wanting to do one of these for a really long time. So here we go. Here's our ring pop. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did making this ring pop. Thank you so much to everybody that has found the channel, has been watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. A new episode comes out every Friday at 2 p.m. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time on Studio Creative Kids. Paintbrushes and paper towel. We need a paint plate.
It's like you're going too fast.
I am the bomb diggity. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. We need a plate for our paint. My brain gets twisted. Okay. Paint plate. Just Art acrylic paints. Gosh, those aren't Just Art acrylic paints.
What did you say?
These bloopers are gonna be so much fun.
You didn't say white. What did you call that place?
Leave me alone. Milo temper paints.
Oh.
Okay, we shake it out. I can do hard things. I can do hard things. This blooper reel is gonna be hilarious. Oh. Okay, here we go.